Welcome back to the Sober Web, my friends. I am Clark, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video today. I'm going to talk about some pitfalls that everyone needs to be aware of in addiction recovery. I've got 3 pitfalls I want to focus on, and all 3 are vital. These pitfalls are something to always be aware of because they can kind of trip us up or hold us back, and I want you to know about them. But before we get into that, hit the like button if you're sober today. Leave your sober date in the comments so I can support and celebrate you by smashing the like button in return. Now, because your time's valuable, let's get into the 3 pitfalls so that you not only can prevent relapses, but you make your sobriety as efficient and effective and as powerful as possible. All right, so the first pitfall in addiction recovery I want you to be aware of is a really important one. I think this is why some people tend to go back to old ways, or maybe they relapse because there's a sense of disappointment and boredom that comes after the high. And what I mean by the high is it's a natural euphoria, sense of accomplishment, confidence boost in the first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, even the first year of sobriety, where you're riding this wave of power, honestly, because you have stepped into a new way of living and you've begun to overcome something that's been holding you back for so long. But eventually it does begin to taper off, and it's when that tapering off begins that we begin to feel a little bit restless and irritable and discontent. The boredom sets in, we're a little disappointed because maybe it's not always as exciting as we hoped it was. And that's the dangerous ground when relapses can happen. We kind of get back into tapping into our fear and our trauma and stuff that might push us back towards a relapse. And I want you all to think about the fact that sobriety, addiction recovery is a marathon. It's not a sprint. This is a lifelong journey that you're going on, and we can't just keep going up, 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 up all the time. Sobriety and addiction recovery are up and down. Please be aware of the high and that it will eventually dissipate a bit, but it doesn't mean that you're regressing. It doesn't mean that you have to go back to old ways. It doesn't mean that you have to drink again or use again. It's just part of the process of healing. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on this pitfall. Hit the like button if you think that this pitfall is legit, but let's just have a conversation about it. Pitfall number 2, be careful and aware of replacing an old addiction with a new addiction. Giving up a crutch, if you will, quitting alcohol or substance, it can be really, really scary because we've relied on this thing for so long to help us get through life on a day-to-day basis, if you will. And without that crutch being around, it leaves us kind of feeling like we have nothing to lean on, and it's totally natural, but that's also part of sobriety, learning that we don't need the crutch. We don't need to lean on anything except ourselves. But it is really, really easy in sobriety, in early sobriety, even long-term sobriety, to replace one addiction with the other. It can come in the forms of work, money, chasing new careers, relationships are a really, really big one, social media, food, working out. There's always positive addictions, in my opinion, compared with negative addictions, but too much of anything can become a bad thing. Addiction in any form is just a way for us to avoid reality, a way for us to avoid pain or discomfort or fear or stress or anxiety or trauma or just dealing with the past that we just don't want to deal with right here, right now. Let's use this opportunity in sobriety to understand why we even gravitate towards things in an addictive manner. Is it really a mentality? Is it a learned behavior? Or is it just, like I said, we're not wanting to deal with reality? So let's get into the root of what is that all about? Who you are and why you relate to alcohol the way that you did, or substance, or why you relate to other things, other people, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, any type of relationship in this world where you might use it in a way that becomes unhealthy. All right, and finally, the third pitfall during addiction recovery I want you to be aware of. Opinions are like buttholes. Everyone's got one, and they all stink. Sadly, when it comes to recovery and sobriety, everyone is going to have an opinion. The people in the recovery world have an opinion. The people that have no idea about addiction and recovery have opinions. Your family members will have opinions. If you know what I'm talking about, hit the like button, but maybe you've heard things like, you don't have a problem. You're not an alcoholic. You don't need to go to AA. You don't need rehab. Well, you just drink too much sometimes. What's the big deal? Be careful of listening to those opinions. Stick with your gut. If you feel like there's something in your life you want to fix and you want to quit alcohol for a reason, just go with that. That's you and your decision to do what's best for you. And while others who are just trying to support you because they love you, but maybe don't understand what you're trying to do, their opinions might just sit in the back of your mind and ultimately kind of question your reality a bit and make you question your sobriety, which we don't want happening. And then, of course, on the other side of the fence is the opinions from all of those in the recovery world. You'll hear things like, you have to go to AA, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. You don't have to go to AA, you have to go to rehab. You don't have to go to rehab. You can't do it on your own, you have to do it on your own. And they're all well and good, and I believe that there are truths in all of them. You can learn in AA, you don't have to learn in AA. You can go to rehab, but life doesn't also offer everyone the chance to go to rehab. So ultimately, when it comes down to you and your journey, put aside people's opinions. Tune their voices out. Thank them for their opinion, but you trust you. Listen to your gut. Listen to your voice. What works for you? Do you need parameters and meetings and big groups of people to help with your sobriety? If so, then maybe it's AA. Do you like to learn things on your own? Do you like to think outside the box? Do you want to develop your own program of sobriety? Then maybe don't go to AA. And I'm not really trying to focus on AA versus not AA. It's just obviously one of the most prominent recovery programs in the world, but it's also not the end-all be-all, and there's pros and cons to all of it. But don't let the opinions of others dictate your journey. Be aware of the fact that you might want to make them happy. You might not want to disappoint them, so you might listen to them. You might go along with what they say or suggest. But put aside all the voices and do what's best for you, my friends. Other people's opinions can make or break your sobriety. And so it's just something I want you to be aware of, because I experienced it, and I know so many other people experienced it, and I want you to be able to choose for yourself what you do, how you do it, where you do it, when you do it, when it comes to you, your life, your sobriety, and your healing journey. So there you have it, my friends. 3 pitfalls in addiction recovery I hope that you are now aware of, so that you're able to manage your expectations in early sobriety and even years into your quitting alcohol and overcoming addiction journey. I know that your time is valuable, and I hope that this video offered you some value in return. Hit the like button if so. Leave a comment with your sober date like I already said, but also leave a comment with ideas and topics, things that you want to see content made about, because I will make those for you, because I want to support you in your journey specifically. And then I really, really hope that you'll consider subscribing. That way I get to be part of your journey as a sobriety coach and part of your support group. And with the likes, comments, and subscribes, it just helps get my content out to all the people that hopefully need to see this. Until I see you again, my friends, much love, much life. Get sober, stay sober, keep going, be proud of the work that you are doing, or the work that you are willing to do to embrace your sober journey. It's so powerful, it's so empowering, and you can do it, and I'm here to support you through all of it. So thanks so much for your time. I'm Clark with the Sober Webb, and I'll talk to you really soon.